Well, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the Hi-Ace build in Panama. Could you tell by how much sweat there is on my face that I'm not in Canada right now? If you haven't seen it before, this is our 2017 Toyota Hi-Ace with the 5LE 4-cylinder diesel engine that we are kind of converting into a secondary house on wheels. Now right now there's not a whole lot going on inside, really not a whole lot other than storage of stuff and some lights that we put in last time. But this time we are going to be adding some more features, and the first thing that I wanted to add might help answer a question you might have about how is it to drive in Panama. Well, if you've never driven here before, you'll probably think it's completely crazy. And that's why the number one install is going to be this dash cam from Mangoal. There's going to be a lot of important questions that you want to know about a dash cam that you're installing, but for me one of the highly important ones is how quickly can I install it in this 32-degree heat before I'm dripping to death? And that is why I've parked in the shade. Another important question is, does it come with everything that I need? Because not really much around here except some shade. So hopefully all the tools that I need are in here and I can unbox it, install it, and start to use it. Let's see. What do we have out of the box? Well, it looks like we've got some instructions for use and installation, some nice double-sided tape on the bracket. Looks like good 3M double-sided. Looks like there's even a spare one. Hopefully I don't get it in the wrong spot. Power harness, a 128 gigabyte SD card, Lexar, decent brand. Power adapter. This is an interesting thing. This is actually powered from the OBD2 port, so not difficult to wire. Trim removal tool, really good thing to have included because definitely gonna have to remove some trim. We have a rear-facing camera as well as the forward-facing camera that mounts down below the rear view mirror. Should I read the instructions first or just wing it? Well, the instructions basically just say go to the website and download it for the vehicle that you have. But Mangoal knew that I was installing this in a Hi-Ace and they said the best fit they have is for an F-150, so I don't think the instructions would match anyway, so I guess we're winging it. That said, it's not overly complicated. This goes in the front, that goes to the OBD port, this goes in the back, this pulls the trim off, that sticks to the window. I think we'll be all right. I'm going to start with the front camera. I'm going to stick this to the windshield and then I'll run the cables to kind of where they end, connect the next cable and run from there. That'll let me get all the excess wire that runs to the back. I can leave at the back, there's more space back there. And the same with all the excess wire that runs down to the OBD2 port. I'll leave it down underneath the dash. There's lots of space down there. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to attach this to the window and then pop this onto it or snap them together and then install the whole thing, but I feel like it'll be less risky because this fits around the base of the rear view mirror if I assemble the whole thing first and then I can just kind of guide the wires around and press it up into place. Now there's one thing that wasn't included that would have been kind of nice, and that's like a little alcohol swab pad or something to clean the window with, because I don't have anything and there's nothing around here. So we're just going to stick it to the window and see what happens. That's good 3M tape. I don't think we'll have an issue. Well, that was easy. Another thing that would be nice is if the camera had a little bit of adjustability in the angle, mainly because I know this was not made for this vehicle, but looks like we're going to be looking down a little bit. Either way, looks like that'll slide up around there, and we just got to peel the tape off and stick it in place. Of course, don't want to forget to take the sticker off the lens and see if we can get this. That peels off pretty easily. And now the trick is to get it in the right place and straight. And I should have thought of that before I started this. All right. Okay. So we need to keep the wires down. It just slips up on each side. So we're all the way to the top. There we go. That is installed. So with the camera kind of stuck to the window now, I've got to take the wires and feed them up into the headliner here, kind of the same way I did for this, which is just a reversing camera. So they just tuck up underneath the front here, and that is where the first use of this tool will come in handy.
Tucking the wires in is really easy. Once you get them started, they just slip in.
With the harnesses now coming up and tucking in behind the headliner, I've brought them along this way, and now I can connect each of the 3 other cables to continue running along the top.
It's actually only 2 of the cables. The third is for a GPS option that I'm not using.
So we've now got the wires from the camera up to the edge of the headliner along here. The rear camera is tucked in behind, it comes out here right now, so I gotta run that to the back, and then the power is currently down to here. I just gotta run that down underneath and hook it to the OBD2 port, which is right there. Well, in the high ace, the basic run to the back is pretty easy. You can just kind of squish it in the side here, and if you're lucky, the headliner just drops back down over top of it. If you're not lucky, it's a little bit more work. For the most part, 90% of the way is easy. Now when you get to the back, I've popped these 3 little clips out, and as you can see with my other rear camera, I'm just gonna drop it down and go to the window. All right, well, with all the wire in and coming out of the headliner, it's time to stick this to the window. This one, interestingly, does have adjustability in it, which is nice. Strange, because I guess a rear window could be on a bit of a different angle, but anyway, we have some adjustability in this. Again, peel and stick, so we'll stick it to the window right there, plug it in. Please make sure the screen is down. Please make sure the screen is not upside down before installation. Well, it doesn't say top on it, but I'm gonna assume it goes that way, not that way. But as I don't really have anything to tell me, it's just kind of a best guess. Let's get this adhesive backing off. There we go. I'm gonna try and get it so the camera is actually between the lines, which means we're gonna be sticking it right there. And this wire comes up. I have to have a bunch of extra wire here because this part of the trunk actually hinges up and away. And there we go, it's plugged in. So we should have extra cable to open up there. Let's see if it works. All right, so we've got the app open. It says add camera. I'm assuming I'm gonna need to plug it in first. So down underneath here, plug it into the OBD2 port, just up there. That's plugged in, and then I assume I'm gonna have to turn the ignition on to get that some power. Turn the air conditioning off. We're gonna hit add camera. Let's see what happens. Allow while using. Sure, why not? Yeah, install the camera, power it on, connect to Wi-Fi. Might take a bit of configuring here. All right, got it. It's got to be running. That's how power goes to the camera. Let's try this again. So we want to connect to that one. Password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect. Let's see what happens. All right. Connecting. All right. Add camera. Next. We are connected to Wi-Fi. Got it. Had to click on allow use of local network. Then it worked. Well, I have the recording paused, but there's the field of view from my camera, and there's the field of view from the camera. So, not bad. Even without being able to adjust the angle. I mean, that sign there is off to the side. That is way off to the side, and that tree there is way over there. So that's a really wide field of view. So then I'm gonna assume that's switch cameras. And please make sure right side upside down is upside right. Oh, hold on, maybe we... That works, but it's upside down. So my camera is upside down, just like they said to make sure that it wasn't. But there's no indication. So I'll have to figure out how to flip that over. But camera looks good. Again, really wide field of view there. Nice. All right, I was actually able to peel that back camera off the window with all the adhesive staying with the camera, and then I've flipped it over, so we now have a decent rear view at the back. That's a pretty clear image considering the window's not even clean, but I'm happy with that. I would say so far that's pretty good. Only tool I needed was the trim tool that it came with. I'm gonna stick the SD card in now, and maybe later we'll go for a drive and get some footage. And now you don't need your camera connected, obviously. That's just so that you can see what it's recording. It's gonna record everything to that SD card that you can pull out later and stick in your computer if you need to.
So let's see what that footage looks like. And no, this isn't the crazy driving part of Panama. First, I'm impressed that even the trees on the hills in the distance are clear and in focus, and as we come into this little village, we can clearly see that it's Bajo del Rio. Even at such a wide angle, speed limit signs are not distorted, clear and easy to read, and we can even see details of people walking on the side of the road. But what about that rear camera? Well, as we cruise past the fire department in Chame, we can see that we have a super suspicious high-ace van chasing us down. Let's take a look. As Benji comes by, we can flip back around to the front and see it's just a pet store van. And look at how clearly we can read all of the text, even all the way off to the side. That is pretty impressive for such a wide angle.
Really happy with that. Thanks to Mangoal for sending me that. Make sure you check the links in the video description if you're looking to get one of these for yourself. Easy install, looks like good quality imaging. I hope you enjoyed that video. I gotta get to some air conditioning. Yeah, I could just turn the air conditioning on in here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.